thanks for joining me. I'm Suzanne. I'd like to welcome you to or welcome you back to A Lively Perspective, where I share my love of homeschooling and my passion for everything book related. In today's video, I'm sharing with you part B of a video I started earlier this week. You can see it linked up here. And these videos are part of my back to school series for the 2021 to 22 school year. And a little bit about me. I am a homeschooling mom of one, and we're a three-person family, and we've been homeschooling our daughter since she started school, and she will be starting third grade in the upcoming school season. I'm going to show you the rest of the haul that began in part A. There are a few upcoming videos for the back to school series, so if you like this type of content and would like to see the rest, please be sure to hit subscribe and the little bell to be notified when I upload new videos. We're currently still in our summer season, and I'm ramping up, getting ready for our upcoming school season, which for us begins in September. We're gonna start here. And as you've seen in last week's video, I got 3 of these pie plates holders, pie plate holders. I use them for books everywhere. I absolutely love them, highly recommend it. In terms of organization, if you saw our summer project video, you will have seen that we started to jump into some cooking for the first time in a really more active way than I have with my daughter up to this point. And I want to continue on with that in the new school year. And I've purchased some cookbooks that actually I want to use for that. And they're going to tie in with a world studies that I'm doing for the entire year. And that will keep coming up probably in this video and other videos. And I do plan at some point to do a video that shows you all the resources I'm using for the year for the world studies. I'm really excited about it. It's just one I'm making up on my own, but it includes our cultural studies, our geography studies, some language arts, a bunch of fun things, and cooking. And I'm saying that because I got us matching aprons. Okay, you have to add some fun into this as well, right? Now, this is one I picked up from Amazon. This is called Good Enough to Eat, a Kid's Guide to Food and Nutrition. And this is something that I hadn't done with my daughter, and I realized she doesn't know carbohydrates and proteins, that sort of thing. Just grabbed this for us to have a quick look at that this year as well. We've already started reading it, and yeah. So, cookbooks. I have 3, and these were based on other recommendations. And this is What's Cooking at 10 Garden Street. And I thought this was a lovely picture book. Oh, and this is by Felista Sala. So this actually has recipes in it as well. And I find it's very basic. And these are the illustrations that if you see any of my other hauls, you know I absolutely love these illustrations. And I know I'm not alone because they're producing an awful lot of books with these type of illustrations. So that's one. And the next book that I have is called Cooking Class Global Feast, and this is by Deanna F. Cook. And this includes 44 recipes that celebrate the world's cultures. And she has many other cookbooks for kids as well. I've heard really great things about this and her other series. American Girl, Around the World Cookbook, Delicious Dishes from Across the Globe. And this is by William Sonoma. Okay, and this is really pretty and colorful. Fun to look through. My daughter doesn't really know the American Girl series, but that might be something fun to explore. Okay, this is The Cultured Chef, an international guide for kids who love to cook, and this is written by Nico Seabright. Now, this is a workbook edition. I say that because this is not what I expected when I ordered it. The original hard copy, which I guess they did a whole campaign to raise money to create, and the research and everything that is into this book is absolutely amazing, without a doubt. It wasn't what I expected. If you see the original one on the website, it's really colorful and beautiful and stunning. So it took me a couple days, I admit it, to get over my disappointment with this. I have decided to keep it because the research involved is still, you know, top notch, and the recipes are fantastic, and there's activities that we can do in there that have been added into the workbook. So I think that's a lot of fun, and I'm sure we'll use that for our world studies, no doubt. And I still would love to get my hands on an original copy of the cookbook. Now, a book I picked up that's still in line with cooking, and it was a new release, is the official Harry Potter baking book, 40 plus recipes inspired by the films. And we are, I keep saying this, but if not in the winter, then maybe next year. We are definitely doing a Harry Potter study in terms of school. Look at that. So I thought this would be excellent to add to that. And I'm actually going to give this to my daughter for Christmas. So that'll be fun. I did pick up A World of Poems, Inspiring Poetry for Children. And these are selected by Sylvia M. Vardell. Oop. Beautiful artwork, and I just find they're really simple, and I love that. So this is a book that I got a couple months back because I originally had it out of the library for one of our women's studies, and this is The League of Super Feminists by Miriam Malley. And I have to say, this is one of the best books that I've come across for talking about gender and different issues about feminism with young children. Now, I would recommend, we've read quite a bit of it already. And there's a couple parts in this I wouldn't probably, well, I'm not going to read to my daughter when at her age. She's 8, just turned 8. So I would recommend looking through it yourself first before you jump into it with your children. But absolutely, honestly, if you see my playlist that I did during Women's History Month last year, we looked at and read a lot of books about women's history and feminism, that sort of thing. This is really one of the best that I came across for kids. I highly recommend having a look at this from your local library, or I think it's one for the shelf for sure. All right, so I picked up a couple of workbooks and activity books. And yes, these are kind of busy books, but I think they're also fun. Like this one in particular, my daughter still loves The Elephant and Piggy. And I thought this is a great activity book for her to do. They're really simple. She doesn't have to think a lot to do these ones. But like I said, I like to have some things to keep her busy when we're doing a lot of read alouds. And I thought this was a great one for that pile. This is called We Are in an Activity Book. And these are the Mo Williams books. And another one of these workbooks I got off Amazon because I picked up a couple of the other ones from this series from Book Outlet. You probably saw in a previous haul, but this one wasn't in Book Outlet and I wanted to have the set. And this is Sophia Valdez's Big Project Book for Awesome Activists. 40 things to plan, draw, and make. And I personally really wanted this one because we talk a lot about activism in our house and have for a couple of years because of a nonprofit that I had started. So it was definitely a topic that we've discussed, and especially doing Women's History Month as well. Yeah, this is a great series. And I finally grabbed the What Your Third Grader Needs to Know, Fundamentals of a Good Third Grade Education. And you've probably heard me talk about this before. I have the What Your Second Grader Needs to Know. And I was lucky enough to pick that one up at Book Outlet. And I was waiting this summer to see if this showed up in Book Outlet. And it didn't, and I couldn't wait any longer because I wanted it for some planning for the upcoming school year. This is based on the Core Knowledge Foundation and movement in the States. And I have to say, some may agree with this or disagree with this, but I love to have it as a reference. I found the second grade one to be quite helpful to see if I'm staying somewhat on track. And it's always good to have a baseline and a box that you can sort of bounce around in and out of, but know what your baseline is. Okay, I picked this up. It's Let's Learn Math Division. Pull the tabs to reveal the answers. And we had one of these in addition, and Vivian loved the independence of it, and I loved the fact that she got to practice, and she didn't need my help because you pull the tab to know the answers. So I thought that was quite cool to come across. And for a fun review, I got her an Unofficial Math Adventures for Harry Potter Fans, Addition and Subtraction. So this is 60 pages of math practice. And there's a multiplication and division 1 that I'm going to get next for her. And then I picked up a few things for world studies. This is Flags Around the World, the Ultimate Sticker Book. I just thought this was something that we could definitely use this year. And then from National Geographic, we have a World Atlas Sticker Activity Book. And then we have another National Geographic, and this is Ultimate Globe-Trotting World Atlas. Maps, games, and activities, and more for hours of adventure-filled fun. Yeah, this has a lot of information and pages in here. Nope. I picked up a few things for science. This is one I saw recommended in one of my Facebook homeschool groups. And this is How to Be Good at Science, and this is another DK. And this is Technology and Engineering, the simplest ever visual guide. So this is for science curriculum. I have another book here that's also for science, and I'm not totally sure what I'm doing for science this year. That will be in one of the planning videos. I'll let you know. This one is called, again, this is another DK, and this is Science You Can Eat. Can cheese cause bad dreams? Why does chopping an onion make you cry? I thought this was a fun sort of bridge between the cooking that we're doing and some of our science classes. And then we have Recycle and Remake, Creative Projects for Eco Kids. If you saw other hauls that I've done, you know I also picked up a couple other books. I'm planning on doing a unit study with Vivian that's just about being eco-friendly and being kind to the planet, that sort of thing. And thought I might do a little more of that this summer. However, summer is almost over, and we still have quite a few things to do in our summer project, so I'm not adding anything else to that. Also for science, I picked up this Color Chemistry Arctic Lab, and we have another one that we've started for our summer projects. And I heard this was just as good as the other one, and it was on for half price, literally 50% off when I walked in Staples one day, which is like Office Depot. So I, of course, grabbed it, and that'll be fun to do at some point over the winter. We still haven't finished the first one, which I want to do before we open this one, of course. This really is quite an eclectic haul. I have been putting things in this box for a couple months. Now, I picked this up for practice, 100 telling the time practice reading clocks. We still need some work on that, so I thought this would be an easy way to get in that practice. As mentioned, we're going to do some work on timelines this year, so I picked up this Big History Timeline sticker book, and this is 113 stickers and a 5-foot timeline. I just thought this was a fun way to introduce this. Oops. Yeah. So now that I'm doing that, I'm not sure if I mentioned this already in a video or it was something else I mentioned in one of my hauls in reference to timelines. I'm not sure. I did get this one also, and this is a DK Smithsonian book, and this is Timelines of Everyone. And they have 3 kinds of books like this that I would love to add to our library at some point. They have one that is like Timelines of Everything, and they also have one Timelines of Black History. Yeah, we almost ordered the Timelines of Black History for last year's Black History Month, but I knew that we had so much material that it wouldn't get read. So I may pick one of those up for the upcoming Black History Month. Okay, I'm going to try to pick it up. I keep saying that, but I really will try. This is North American Birds. This is more than 60 reusable full color stickers. And we're loving the bird study in our house. And I'd like to do a couple things a little more formal this year. Still keeping it light and exciting and just fun. A lot of our bird learning has been very organic in our house, thanks to the Thornton W. Burgess's bird book. And we're going to do that again this year. So I have plans for this. You'll see. Then I have one of the Doyer coloring books, Favorite Wildflowers coloring book. And I have to say, pretty much any subject, you can find one of these Doyer coloring books on Amazon. So if you are studying something that you'd like a coloring book to keep your kid active, try a search on Amazon, because I was surprised at the number and different types of these Doyer coloring books. Then here's another one of those coloring books. This is the Small Animals of North America coloring book. And I know this is to go with a piece of curriculum that I purchased, and I'll show you more of that later. A few more, what now seems a little random. However, like I said, I have been throwing things in this Amazon haul box for a couple months now. And this is one that I bought earlier in the spring. Thought I would use it for our bug watching this year. I did a whole video on bugs, and then to be quite honest, it was in the bin. I forgot I even had it. So this came with 3, and I love these pocket guides. If you haven't seen them, they're amazing. Check them out. And it came with a Beetles one, a Bug and Slugs one, and Dragonflies and Damselflies. These are great for nature study to throw in your backpack. Honestly, if you didn't want to buy a field guide, or really you could get away with just having a bunch of these, which we now have. Yeah. To go along with the animal coloring book, I'm sure this goes with one of the programs that you'll see in next week's video, where I'm going to show you all the curriculum that I purchased online and had bound and everything. Among the Meadow People, and that's by Clara Dillingham Pearson. This is another homeschooling book, and this is called The 3 R's. And this was highly recommended by a few people. And this is by Ruth Beachick. I thought I would grab a copy and have a look at it. I know we might be a little bit late to the game for this book, but I'm sure I can glean something from this, and I will let you know, because I'm going to do a wrap up at some point of all the homeschool books that I've been reading this summer, and I'll let you know. I'll just give you, there's the contents if you want to have a look. I'll show you the next page. Oh no, so that's it. That's the table of contents if you want to have a look. And then the next page is the introduction. This is Know and Tell, The Art of Narration by Karen Glass. And I saw this was recommended by Angie over at Science Mama. So this is about the art of narration, and that's all I really know about it. But I thought I could definitely use some help and some tips in that area. All right. Oh, I can't wait to start these. So here is one that I absolutely can't wait to start with Vivian. This is Bookworm Reading for Kids. Take a bite out of every book. So this is a journal. So we can keep track, help Vivian keep track of all the books that she's reading. And then what happens when you begin your adventure, start here. So as they write in each book, they get to take the corner out because the bookworm is eating it. I just thought this was absolutely adorable. I could not wait for this to come in, and here it is. So now I wanted to wait till our new school year. However, I think I'm probably going to write our summer read-alouds in here anyway and get the ball rolling. Now, this is one we're actually going to do as a family. So both myself and Vivian and her dad, we're going to do this. It's called Me and My Feelings, A Kid's Guide to Understanding and Expressing Themselves by Vanessa Green Allen. And this is 30+ exercises, tips, and quizzes. I thought this was a great way to learn to communicate, and also a great way to understand how each of us in the family thinks about feelings and communicates those feelings. I thought it'd be an interesting thing to do as a family. So I got a couple journals for fun. I'm not sure how I'm going to work these into the day because I need them to stay fun. That's the purpose of them. And I don't want them to be like onerous or to feel like school. I want it to be something that Vivian really enjoys. And this is the 3-minute gratitude journal for kids, and they keep it really simple. So you just write 3 things I'm grateful for. This person brought me joy today. I feel. What was the best part about your day? Draw or write about it. So this is a great thing to do in the evening. And then I love this idea. This is one question a day for kids, and this is a 3-year journal. So it's going to ask the kids the exact same question on the exact same day, 3 years in a row. So I can't wait to see and have a record. I was terrible at keeping a journal when my daughter was young. Now I can't even remember, like, how old she was when she took her first step, for example. Like, I'm serious. My memory is terrible for that kind of thing. But this is a way she will have a record and I will have a record of how she's thinking and how she changes over the next 3-year period. I think this is really cool. I threw these in because Vivian absolutely loves these books. And these are the weird these are the weird school books by Dan Gutman. And this is my weird writing tips. And this is my weird reading tips. So we did start this one in the spring. And I kind of let it go over the summer. So we'll go back to that in the fall. And because she's read even more of these books this summer, it'll hold more meaning, I think, next year as well. And yeah, so these are kind of an addition to our curriculum, and we'll see if we can work them in a fun way. This one I picked up at Costco. It's A Wolf Called Wander, and that's by Roseanne Perry. And I kept seeing this in other people's feeds, and when I saw it at Costco, I thought that would make a great read aloud for this year, and I grabbed it. This is about a wolf cub that lives with a pack, and something happens and she ends up on her own, and it's about her trying to figure out how to live on her own. Wow. So this is actually based on a real wolf called Wander and her extraordinary story. I'll show you a picture. Now, I picked up Mr. Popper's Penguins because I know this was one of the books that I needed for some of our language arts curriculum. As I mentioned in one of the thrift haul videos that I did, where I picked up a Calpurnia Tate book, it's part of our read alouds this summer. And I was excited to find that because she's very science oriented, and people recommended this series. It's called Calpurnia Tate Girl Vet. That's based on the same character when she grows up. And these are chapter books, so this is something that Vivian could potentially be reading on her own this year. And I wanted to see what it was like. And yeah, we'll see. We haven't actually had a chance to read this yet. And I have been trying out chapter books, and I wanted to have some diversity in the pile. So I grabbed Sofia Martinez, My Family Adventure by Jacqueline Jules, illustrated by Kim Smith. And again, we haven't had a chance to read this, but I'm going to do that before the school year starts because we are starting Spanish this year, which is another reason why I wanted to pick up this book, because interlaced through the story are, interlaced or interspersed, I guess is a better word. Interspersed in the story are some Spanish words, and I thought that might be kind of fun and helpful. We'll see. All right, the last book I'm going to show you, I'm so excited to have. This is the Wild and Free Book Club, 28 Activities to Make Books Come Alive. And this is by Ainsley Arment, and she's the founder of the Wild and Free. And so this is written by people that are in her community. So it's not just written by her. It's different families chose a book and wrote what they did for that particular book in terms of a book club. And I found this adorable, and I just want to read you a quote which really verbalized so well what I am trying to accomplish with a lot of the living books that we're reading. So the quote is, "The heart of a book club is how the book motivates, expands, shapes, and inspires us into action," which I saw firsthand that day. And the lady that wrote this is talking about what ended up happening when they brought all the kids together. They spontaneously started doing all these things. And at first she wanted to say, hey, bring them in, because they weren't in a circle talking about the book. But they immediately jumped into action and really started studying nature, pulling out microscopes and all these things, which is the point of reading some of these books, is to inspire us to take action, and especially for our kids. And I was so excited, and why it resonated so much with me when I read that is because in the spring, when we started to read Zoe and Sassafras books, my daughter was getting into science. Like, she had an interest in science in a way that she hadn't, because the main character in that book, Zoe, is excited about science. So that's what prompted us to do some science reading and some science experiments over the summer. And it's my dream for these books. One of the challenges is to step back and let that process take place. But when we find books that really inspire our kids to do that, and I look for books like that that inspire me to, you know, do certain things in my life as well. And a lot of the literature books that are featured in this book, many of you have already probably read or intend to read over the next while. So I think that's even more fun. It gives you a little bit of books you're familiar with and a little bit of books that you maybe hadn't heard of before. And it gets the juices flowing and it feels a bit more exciting to read those books. And I got one of these. It's just a little calendar. Oh, the lighting is reflecting. It's just a calendar to stick on the fridge. I like to have that where I put in special dates and highlight it so that it's never missed. We're seeing it constantly and everybody in the family can see it if they so choose to look at it. Now, I picked up a planner and this was a recommendation. The Homeschool Converts channel, she talked about this and I really love the simplicity of this planner. And there's just one change I might make to it. We'll see. Again, you'll see that in the planning video. I also picked up from Winners. I absolutely love flowers. 2021 to 2022. And this I got because, again, it is also very simple. And some people might not like having two of these, but I will have them hand in hand. So you have the month. And then back here you have by week. Oh, can you see that? So you have by week, then you have notes and to-dos. And if you'd like, I'll include some of these more in the planning video. But there's other things that I need to keep track of on a daily basis and a monthly basis, that sort of thing that has nothing to do with school. So these fit perfectly together. I'm more than okay having two. In fact, I like to have a separate one for other things that I'm working on. We're coming down to the end. I've been trying to do more games in our home and I'm having semi-success with that. Yeah. But I'm hoping in the new year that we can have family night on Sunday nights and we'll play some games. And I'd like to add some more games into our homeschool. And again, I'll let you know. I feel like I keep saying that, but I just really in this video wanted to show you all the stuff I picked up. And as you can see, there's more than enough here. And I really need to sit down and go through this stuff and start planning it out myself. I picked this up because I think this would be great for our world studies. This is Trekking the World. And I asked around and I heard really fantastic things about this. And I heard the illustrations were, the art was gorgeous. The geography was wonderful. And the gameplay is a lot of fun. So I grabbed it. This is all we have left. I picked up 3 of those. And for supplies, this is what is in there, the majority of what's in there. This was a Super Tips Pointless Markers, and this is 100 markers. And this was Crayola's 50 colored pencils. I really want it to be colorful and fun and to pull Vivian in to do some fun schooling books. So that's what's here. This whole stack. And what's in here are all our Thinking Tree Fun Schooling books. Now, this one here I haven't talked about, and this is really a review. I picked this one up because I wanted something easy that pulled Vivian in. She got used to coloring in it, that she thought it was fun. There wasn't anything that really felt like school. And using some of these fun schooling books for her this summer because I have a huge number of them I want to use and introduce into our school next year. But I need to do it in a way that is fun and she's excited when she sees them. So this is one of the ways I did that, and it wasn't full, like I said, so I added in some that we already had for pencil crayons. And these are the ones we're doing this summer. And I showed you those in a summer projects video. And if you want to see more, I actually have a playlist that I will link if you want to have a look inside. So I did some look inside or see inside videos for these Thinking Tree books that we have on our shelves. And the last thing I'm going to share about in this video has to do with these Thinking Tree fun schooling books. No, I'm not affiliated in any way, but we did purchase quite a few of them this spring for their spring sale. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm just going to show you the titles, and these are the ones that I'm going to be using for our upcoming year and our curriculum. And some of them I plan on using for the next 2 years, but I'm going to show you the titles now. And the reason I'm just showing you the titles is I am definitely doing a See Inside video where I'll put some timestamps down for each of those. And if you want to see that when it comes out, definitely hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. Okay, so this was one book that I bought PDF, and I split it up into two and had it bound into two different ones. And I will talk more about that literally in the next video next week, because I'm going to share with you all the curriculum that I've bought over the last couple of years. I downloaded it all, printed it, and went and had them all bound at once. So I'm going to show you what all those are in next week's video. And this will be included. And here's another two. This is for our world studies. These two actually. And this is World Tour, Fun Schooling Journal, Language, Arts, Geography, Science, and Music. And this is Animals and Instruments. I think I read that backwards. And this is 7 Amazing Continents, World Geography, and Social Studies. And we learned the 7 continents last year, but we didn't go into any study. And we are this year with our world studies. And also, to go with that, that's why I said we'll be using these over the next couple of years, because I'm going to introduce 3 of them into our school this year for world studies. And this one is 30 Fascinating Cities, Travel Dreams, Fun Schooling Journal. Look at the size of this one. Holy. Yeah. That's a lot, and very excited. And then there's these individual ones, and I wanted to have a look at it to see if I wanted more of the individual. I'm not sure. But this one's on Mexico, and this is a social studies book, and I'm definitely, so this is Learn About Mexican Culture Through the Arts, Fashion, Architecture, Music, Tourism, Sports, Wildlife, Traditions, and Food. And I know we're definitely doing more work on Mexico this fall. Now this one is beautiful. Yeah, these are just as fun for me as they are for Vivian, for sure. Autumn Homeschooling Library-Based Curriculum Journal, a 60-day plan. I can't wait to dive into this one. And then we have Nature Study, Seaside Science, Curiosity Journal. And I couldn't wait to get this. I thought we might add it into our Seaside study this summer, but it just would have made things too heavy-handed. So I'm glad I have it, and we'll be doing it next summer. And this one is Warrior Word Work, Learning Grammar Through Poetry, Games, and Crafts, 115 activities. And I thought this would be a fun, I keep saying that, but I guess that's why they call them fun schooling journals. Then we have Secret Diary, A Book of Dreams, 180-day personal journal for beginners. And this is for girls, and it's level A. And it's for Vivian's age group for sure. What I don't think I realized when I ordered it is that it actually talks about a book of dreams, which I don't have a lot of interest in writing down our dreams. Or anyway, I'm going to have a look at it and see if we can kind of adjust it and use it for a different purpose. Now, this one I actually bought from somebody off Facebook Marketplace, the Top 30 Grammar Mistakes, a do-it-yourself homeschooling journal. I'm going to have a look at this. I think this is one that I decided we're better off using next year. That's the last one. That's the last thing I have to show you. Oh my God, we made it. You made it. If there's something here you'd like to see more of, please let me know in the comments below. If you saw something that you're now going to get for your homeschool, please let me know in the comments below. It encourages me to keep doing these videos. I like to know that it's helpful to others. And don't forget, this is a back to school series. So I'm going to put out, for me, it's going to be 1 video a week. I know I've seen others do like a week of videos. I just cannot pull that together. This is still far too new for me on so many levels. I will put out 1 to 2 videos a week over the next month. So if you want to keep up and see what those are, definitely subscribe and hit the like button. And I will see you soon with another video.